What's good, guys? Episode 2 of the build series for the 2004 Heritage F150. Before we can do any mods at all, we should do regular maintenance, and I got a host of them to do. Right here, we got brake fluid, and you'll see exactly exactly why. Can you see what color that is? That is practically black.
Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
And it's supposed to be clear. So I'm not going to show you how to do this. Relatively straightforward, but regular maintenance first. So that is what the brake fluid used to look like, and now it looks like this. Still kind of looks dirty from the outside because of the reservoir, but we'll just dip it in and you can see how big of a difference there is between that and that. Alright, got this thing cleaned up a little bit. You can tell, still very dirty, but definitely cleaner than it was before. This color right here was what the whole entire bottom was. I kind of just used dishwasher soap, some cleaning supplies. I know some people put little pebbles in there and shake it all about. I'm not doing that. So it's cleaner. So progress, I presume. Everything else is pretty well baked in there. So let's get some new coolant in, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Coolant replaced. Brake fluid replaced. Now we're going to do power steering fluid. And we're going to do that with a turkey baster. It's just $2 at Walmart. You're just going to go and then, put it in a safe container or whatever. Then when you get it all out, we'll pour the new stuff in, left, right, left, right. Keep repeating until it's clear. We're also going to replace the air filter, so check this. Pull out this air filter. Dust is flying everywhere. But overall, I mean, it's not horrible. See that dust flying? So it is dusty. But look at this. Ugh. That needs to be cleaned. So this is why you do maintenance when you first get the vehicle, and then you do the modifications, because if we run into anything bigger, we don't want to pour all this money into it, and then we can't get refunds for all our mods and everything, and we're stuck having to fix a broken engine. So let's do this. Then I'm gonna get the transmission flushed at Valvoline, because when I go fast, like highway speeds, and I really romp on it, it doesn't go anywhere. Power cuts in, out, in, out, in, out. So maybe it's a transmission issue. I'm hoping not. Hoping it's something less severe than that. But again, a regular maintenance item that's good to do. Engine oil is also refilled when I pulled out, overfilled when I pulled out the dipstick. So we'll also go ahead and change that out as well. Valvoline doesn't do the oil filter and magnet, so I'm gonna do that myself. Look at how much sludge is attracted to this magnet. This is potentially bad. I mean, it's never been changed, so this is 160,000 miles, but yeah, I don't know how much is normal, but this is a lot. So TBD, we'll see. Something I want to show you guys really quick. So I dropped the pan, I got a new filter, and I cleaned off the magnet. Got a new gasket as well as a part of the filter, but you'll notice that these holes don't line up, right? If I line these holes up, now it's off the side. So I went back to the place that I got it from, and I said, hey, this doesn't line up. Look at this. Now it lines up. So make sure you have it in the right orientation before you go to the store and embarrass yourself. And I have some unfortunate news. Now, instead of telling you what it is, let me show you what it is. in here. Turn it on. And you can see it right there. Misfiring, cylinders 4 and 7. Broke down in Kansas and was in the middle of nowhere, so had to keep driving on it, which certainly didn't help. And now the engine needs a rebuild. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be putting money into this car because I bought a newer F250 instead. But I want to talk about what I was going to do to it, just in case somebody does have a F150 2004 Heritage, or, you know, older. Maybe you can get some inspiration on how you can make your old baby a new baby. So first thing I did is I took the seat covers off. That certainly helped the aesthetic quite a bit, and they're in fantastic conditions. First modification of the F150. It's not an exciting one, and in fact it's going to be super quick. Let's take off these hideous seat covers and see what the condition is of the cloth underneath. So I just went underneath and I cut all these little yarn string pieces, and then you can see they're also here on the back side, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut those and then pull it right off. All right, out with the old. Oh, look at that, free change. In with the new. These are actually in really good condition. I mean, besides it being dirtiest, which is apparent, this can rub off. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, show you guys what it looks like, but yeah, seat covers work. Hell yeah. I was actually gonna put seat covers back on it, just, you know, more modern ones. Something that I actually did do, but has been uninstalled since, is I put in a Kenwood in the infotainment system. Would have hooked up with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And to go along with that, upgrade the door speakers. They were 6x8. And they actually sounded pretty decent. That's another thing that I, you know, did and had to end up undoing because the engine quit on me shortly after doing it. So I ended up returning those parts actually. And I want to preface by saying I don't think that this truck failed because of its age or how it was cared for. In fact, I have all the service records right there in the door. I think there was some shoddy work done by a shop, but I'm not going to call them out. I don't want my channel to be me just whining about poor experiences, and hopefully that work by that shop was just a one-off. I'm not really sure. To make this video still worth you watching, so you don't feel like you just wasted your entire time watching it, I want to talk about some of the things that I was planning on doing. We'll start from the front, and we'll work our way back. I already talked about the interior. One thing that I did forget is I did add a steering wheel cover. Next upgrade, if you want to call it that, this bad boy, a leather steering wheel. This thing's kind of old. It's in good shape, but it's, you know, sticky, doesn't feel great. So let's see if I can figure out how to do. Probably just woke up, but probably will end up just completely embarrassing myself on this. Stretch it out. Come on. Almost. I guess you do want it to be this tight so it doesn't slip off accidentally. Yep, that's it. Nice. And this is what it looks like now. You know, this is, but that's how they are. Feels way better in the hands. It's thicker. Okay, this sounds weird. And yeah. So starting from the front, I was actually not going to update the headlights. The reason for that is I think that those aftermarket headlights look really like cheap, like they look like aftermarket parts. So I wasn't about to drop money on that. Was probably going to try to clean them up so they don't look so hazed over. And then something that I did buy but never installed were brand new rims and tires off a Toyota Tundra. Got a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace, paid about $600 for them. They were bigger tires too. In order to fit them on this Ford, the wheel hub pattern is different, so I had a wheel hub adapter that I bought, and it would have brought out that tire just a little smidge. I wasn't really looking for that, but I thought that, you know, maybe if it was an inch or less, it would have looked all right. Another thing that I ended up buying and actually installing but have uninstalled since are the tow mirrors. All right, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be putting the truck to the test, and I'm going to be towing a trailer. So, naturally, I want to change these. I want to change these to the big boys. The big boys being something like that. Something that telescopes, something that's larger that I can actually see behind the trailer of. So in order to do that, we need to take this panel off. And this is going to be a 3-in-1 upgrade. We are going to change the mirrors. We're going to improve the insulation in here because it's kind of noisy. And then we're going to upgrade the speakers too while we're at it. Later down the road, I'd like to make this electronic, but we'll see if that's worth the fight or not. So let me show you how to do this really quick. You're going to take this flathead, and you're just going to pry it in here just a little bit, and just like that. Now, we're going to set it to this horizontal position. That's just for me to remember. I'm going to take a T20, and I'm going to put it in here. There's a little bolt in here. I'm just going to knock that bad boy loose like that. Loosen that up. Okay, so I think that's about loose now. So you don't need this, but it makes the job easier. Just a wand magnet. I got that. Now I can go ahead and pull this off like that. Now the second step is we're gonna go here, and I'm just gonna pry it from the bottom. This one seems to be a little loose relative to the other side, but again, we can just use the flathead, and of course you can use a plastic trim tool as well. It's gonna be kind of hard to pull off. Just take your time. Those will snap off. Now we have this trim piece for the handle. We're gonna be careful not to destroy the plastic. Just work our way around. This also comes off. Now, real simple, we got a Phillips head here. I'm gonna use that same flat head. Take this off. And then, oh frick, magic wand time. Pew! Oh wait. I think I actually left it further down there. We'll get it after. All right. Phillips up here. We're gonna loosen this bad boy up. Okay, not to lose this one. Now, real simple, we're just gonna grab here, we're gonna lift up. Should be this bad boy. There you go. Just needed some encouragement. There's the screw. And you'll see this comes off. Okay. Now that this is off, now this is where the insulation is. So we'll just replace that. It's kind of easy. And then the speakers right here, just undo that and replace it with our aftermarket speaker. And then this is just a little cover. It's probably for noise if I had to guess. And now we have, zoom into there. There's 3 nuts that hold the mirror in place. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab .7/16 with a Peter extension, and we're just gonna loosen these bad boys up. Okay, and I always like to loosen up all three before you take anyone off, because if you take one of them off, then you're putting potentially some unnecessary stress on the other ones that could be avoided. I'm just going to hold this on the other side. Can you see that? I'm just holding it, and I'm just going to take these off. Now, do I need to hold it on the other side? Nah. But better be safe than sorry. Magic wand time. Come on, don't fail me. That's right. It's magic. Come on, give her a nipple twister. And when I'm holding this, I'm kind of pushing it into me. Okay, and then this one. Giving you a realistic expectation. Don't want to fast forward here. Almost there. Okay. Now, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. That's right, Disney Channel time. Pew! Pew! Nice. Now I can just, if you go to the mirror, I can just go ahead and pull this off. Just like that. Nice. Time to put the other mirrors on. Working our way back, so we got the construction light. I was going to uninstall the construction light and either plug the hole or put a light bar up front and then a roof rack in place. And the reason for that is I don't want to make another hole, so I was going to run the wiring to the front and then conceal it with a roof rack. And I think that the light bars sometimes can look kind of janky up front, but I think if it was like light bar and then a roof rack immediately above it, that could have given it a more subliminal, I don't even know if that's the right word, but more subtle look. I was going to add window tint, of course. I took the bed cover off, and the reason why I did that is I have a motorcycle, and I bought the truck so that I could transport the motorcycle. So I took that off. I was going to change out the muffler and the resonator on the exhaust, make it a little bit louder so that you could hear that V8. Not droning, but, you know, really appreciate the engine for what it is. The 4.6 liters, unlike the 5.4s, are known to be very stout engines, which is ironic with me saying that now because it quit on me, but nevertheless. The next thing I was going to do was take this trim piece off and replace it with one that had a backup camera on it. First time driving a truck, you know, it's a lot harder backing things up properly. And then this tailgate's pretty heavy and it'll just drop. So I was going to put a tailgate dampener in. I was also going to do some spray on bed liner. And I think that is the majority of what I was going to do, at least what I can think of right now. But the truck I really did appreciate, and it's a shame that, you know, this is the end of the day for the truck. But if you are interested or know somebody who's interested in, I'm in Northeast Ohio now. It is for sale. And yeah, the only thing that I didn't particularly like about the truck, if I'm being entirely honest, is I wanted to move this bench seat back just a little bit more, and it was kind of restricted. And the other thing is, if I pulled up to a light and I recognized somebody on the passenger side, or say a cop went up to the passenger side or something, in order for me to open it, because there's no electronic controls on it, I'd have to crawl across the bench seat, and I'd have to roll it down, crank it like this. So just a little bit harder to talk to people if you wanted to talk to people on the other side. But yeah, this is the vehicle. It's in really, really good condition for the shape, but the engine misfires a lot, and I'm not going to be putting money into it, unfortunately, but it still runs and drives. So yeah, hopefully there will be another build series in the future. I was really excited about this one. I'm kind of bummed, but I hope you can all forgive me and understand the reasons. I didn't want to just never post another video again, and you think, you know, damn, he quit or died or something. Still alive, just, you know, things happen, and unfortunately this is what happened with this one. So that's all I got for this video, guys. See you in the next one.